Tonight's tactical enhancement is a return to the Chivas Regal. Tonight we're playing Warhammer 8th edition. We're just finishing up the deployment. It's 2,500 points. Dark Elves versus Tomb Kings. And I forgot we had a game on tonight, so it's a rushed army list. And I'll just talk through the Dark Elves first. We have 10 cold ones with a standard of discipline, I think, or something. A couple of bolt throwers, one is up here in the tower with a level 4 mage who's got the law of shadows. And 5 of the cold ones there. Also with a banner to help with the leadership tests. A couple of Hydra, Witch Elves, and Corsairs. 24 each of the Witch Elves and Corsairs. Now, in terms of characters, we've got the Standard Bearer, who's got, I don't know, something to help him stay alive in a fight. The level 2 Mage and the level 4 Mage are both tooled up with spells which are designed to bump off characters and high toughness units, because I just don't have the firepower to deal with the insane amount of toughness 8 crap in that army over there. And I've got a couple of assassins working in the usual places. So, that's it for the Dark Elves. This is going to be dumbass luck to see if my spells work. That's going to determine whether or not I win, I think.
Gotta hope that she blows up on the first turn and...
Yeah. I've taken a whole lot of shit I don't normally take. They're magic laws that I don't normally muck around with, and I've taken a couple of unusual weapons and gimmicks that I don't normally muck around with, just to fuck around really and see how we go. Now, what have we got over here?
So the leader, Cetra the Imperishable, is rolling with 6 chariots for the core with full command.
Ooh.
Behind there are 20 archers with a musician. There's also a level 1 Leech Priest. That's a very grandiose looking level 1 Leech Priest.
They can't shoot past their own guy, through their own guys, can they?
Oh, it's a modifier, but I guess because that would move. So no, they can't shoot, like, and if they can't see it, they can't, but they could be able to see a Hydra, for example.
Oh, okay, that old chestnut.
Yeah.
Right.
Then the theme of this list, it's a Sphinx list. So we have 3 War Sphinxes. This is a count as War Sphinx because Emilio wanted to show off the googly eye.
I'm not sure if you can see it. I don't know if I want to turn the lights off.
Are they on?
Actually, there's a light switch behind you there under the shelf there. Turn that light switch off. Let's see what happens.
Are you ready?
Oh, now look at that. You creepy ass little motherfucker. Alrighty, there we go. And we got a couple more over there, I see.
And that's an actual Necro Sphinx.
Alright.
On site, a unit of 10 archers, and then we have the 5 horse archer dudes which will deploy the scouts, 2 burrowing tomb swarms and a tomb scorpion. Burrowing.
Right, okay.
Quite unpredictable, but if they come up,
and
very
these guys will deploy the 12 inches away over by that height.
Over here somewhere, right. Hey, deploy in the forest, that'll be fun. Alright, so that's roughly it for the armies. Now it's been a while since we've had a game, because, you know, real life gets in the way. Seem to be far too many children involved these days, and game from deployment, and I've been overseas briefly. So we'll see if I remember the rules and actually get this thing done before midnight. Now, we have to roll for first turn.
Go for it. Yep. We are -1 because we have the scouts, or we finished deploying last because of the scouts.
Yeah.
Hey!
Makes one tie. It's a
Yeah,
tie.
reroll.
Gotta roll it again.
Oh,
dear me. I'm rolling crap.
Oh, Emilio. All right.
Well, the motherfucker's
Starting
getting
the
first turn.
26 of the video.
Well, I guess we'll be checking in at the end of that first turn, and we'll see.
Well, if you're going to do it, do
we're
it properly.
doing.
Did you get to place them?
End of first half of turn 1. That's the Tomb Kings turn 1. They move forward slowly. They use some magic to move forward a little bit more. Then cast some magical whoop-de-doo on lots of 6s, which apparently doesn't have to do the roll to explode. So Fortunately, I rolled really well, so my Hydra survived. Because it's doing the thing where it you do 3d6 in your leadership and lose a wound for everything over your leadership. And it's right near a general, so it did alright. Lots of shooting, which killed a grand total of 2 witch elves.
And the plebs
and
did
a
a wound.
And a wound off of that. Yeah, these little sneaky fuckers came around the flank, took a wound off the Hydra. Other than that, we passed our saves. It wasn't too bad. Oh, and there's a classic catapult right there from yesteryear. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
It's kind of like we go from the old world to the new.
Fortunately, it missed.
About 3 times bigger.
On that note, we will switch over to the Dark Elves turn 1. Right, end of Dark Elves turn 1, and my strategy of winning with magic has gone kind of the wrong way. I actually shuffled back most of my army to give me a couple of rounds with the bolt throwers before we have to deal with that shit in melee. Move this guy up to do some flanking, and we try to gambit. I sent 5 cold ones in against this thing, and then I hopped some magic at it, got enfeebling on it, but only got -1 to its strength, unfortunately. And in the process, I
miscast on 2 dice.
My first 2 dice were casting and miscast the damn thing. I took a wound off of each of my magic users and then knocked some power dice out of the power pool, which meant that I couldn't do any beefy spells for my second spell. I had to do some. I tried something, but it didn't work because I didn't have enough dice. So my gambit was actually to do Occam's Mind Razor on these 2 fellas and slaughter that fucker outright. I figured they'd probably dispel one or the other of the spells, but as it was, I did more damage to myself than I did to them. And these guys, Emilio did his usual Yahtzee, 6'd the fuck out of these, including a double 6 on the breath weapon.
That was pretty arsey.
And the one save to make on a 6 from the cold one attacks, and Emilio got the 6, so
of course he did.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I must have done not too badly with my armor saves because there's 2 of the fuckers still there, which is probably against the odds given what Emilio was dishing out.
We were -1 on
the
strength.
enfeebling helped, and on the breath as well meant no modifier, which was pretty crucial.
Yeah. So I dropped him from strength.
5 to 4.
Yeah, and since these guys have a 2+ armor, not 1+, any minus is a bit of a problem. So yeah, so that went a bit shit. On the plus side, we dumped a bunch of bolt throwers into this and bumped off 1 and took 2 wounds off another.
Yep.
So that's not too bad. Well, let's see if we can survive the next turn, and then we'll maybe the magic will work. I know better than to rely on mages, but this is the one army where against these motherfuckers I need magic users because I've got nothing else that can deal with them.
I feel the Warhammer dice powers reward us for only taking a level 1 wizard in that last
Just in
game.
case it blows up or
We got
something.
very
I've been punished for doing what I complain about, which is people fisting off the bunches of 6 level 4 mage spells. It's an annoying thing, but I must admit, if I was taking dwarves don't have magic users, but you have cannon and deal with them fine. You take wood elves and you've got poison arrows that deals with them fine. You take corn and they don't give a fuck. Just some big hairy guy will come and bash up everybody for you. But yeah, I've got a bit of a drama with this army against your army, and I mean, there's probably a smarter way of doing it. So I haven't figured out what it is.
The Cardibus, this was his time to eat Sphinx after Sphinx.
Really? Do you reckon that would happen?
Doesn't he have 1 attack, which he's got poison attacks which cut through this.
Yeah.
Plus he's quicker than them, so it's actually a pretty good matchup for him.
Well, if you say so, but he knows there's poison.
He's got to get into combat though, crucially, but yeah.
Well, he should get into combat.
Yeah, it would get into combat against you, but I've got a sneak suspicion that these things would bash him up pretty good.
I think we've got enough weight down this flank to do the job.
It depends a lot on the rolls.
We'll see. It's early days. It's only turn 1. We'll check in at the end of Tomb King turn 2.
Yeah, but he told this turn.
Right, turn 2, Tomb Kings, and Emilio was just saying the plan's working, which is definitely not what I want. Right, this turn. They did fuck all with the magic, I have to say. The only thing they really did was get rid of the thing that reduced the strength of that.
Yeah, dispel that.
Things, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The shooting was largely pathetic, except these guys managed to take another wound off of the Hydra. He still hasn't regenerated anything. These guys and this thing both charged the Hydra, who I actually thought would not have been able to get charged where he was. I was a bit surprised that guy went up trying to get charged at the backside, but I didn't think these guys would actually get it, but I evidently was completely wrong. Yeah. So they barreled on in and just slaughtered him out in one round and did fuck all. The only benefit of which is they've parked themselves very conveniently for me to charge them in my coming turn. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, that was a bit of a shit show. What else? Oh yeah, in this fight over here, this thing only managed to kill one knight by some fucking miracle. So he's still in the fight. That's a standard bearer, so it's actually a tie.
Regen? We tried, but we didn't
Yeah, lots of stuff missed or just rolled really badly to wound.
Notefully, we actually had 12 power dice, but they only managed to dispel a spell.
Yeah, that's right. They did a pretty piss poor job on the casting. Thank fuck I could do the reprieve.
The two little plebs fired up from the ground.
Yeah, these little fuckers turn up. They're going to presumably go for my mage there shortly.
Mage hunting.
That'll be very annoying. I have to do something about that. And otherwise, I think it's over to Dark Elves turn 2, hoping desperately for luck to offset my paucity of strategy and tactics.
Should I just leave them as debris in front of the
end of turn 2, Dark Elves are back in the fight. These guys moved up, ready to do something and get out of the charge after that bad boy, I hope. We took out one of those pesky scorpion things with the bolt throwers. In the magic, we gave these guys Occam's Razor. We tried to do enfeebling on that thing, it didn't work, so it's killed off the last of these guys. With Killing Blow, the bastards of Killing Blow, they bumped off like 3 of them that way. And in the ensuing fight, both assassins popped out, and we just slaughtered the living fuck out of Cetra and everything else.
Probably didn't even need the assassins. The super witch elves just shot the shit out of them.
Frenzied witch elves with
Occam's.
It's frenzied, so they had 3 attacks.
And in fact, we didn't even remember to use poison.
The murderous prowess reroll on the 1 is just
it's a 2+ to wound and you reroll once.
Nasty.
It was horrific.
As soon as that spell went off, I knew. I was like, "Nah, Cetra's."
No,
not even you, Emilio, you can roll that many saves.
Hey, look, you parked the boss right in front of him, right next to the
he's an impetuous dude, Cetra. I had to extend him in.
The funny thing is, I hopped 5 dice instead of 6 because I wanted to save some spells for dice for the other one to give that enfeebling, which of course didn't bloody work in the end. And I rolled up 25 and Emilio rolled up 22.
Yeah, and the 25 was including the +4 bonus, and because you only have a level 1, we could have actually rolled the same.
We could have drawn if it was
Emilio with 5 dice almost outrolled the 6 dice, but it was not to be.
Yeah. Could have been a very different fight.
Yeah.
I moved up the Hydra to cover the flank of these guys against this when they were packed in against Cetra.
Yeah. When there was 5 chariots there, but they're all gone now.
Yeah. Now we did an overrun to try and push past this crap and deal with the backline. It's fine for the witch elves. They'll go and have some fun now.
Yeah.
But these guys didn't make it. They're sitting right in front of that guy, and this guy's no longer able to cover the flank.
Nope.
I will, however, roll to see whether this guy got his fucking wounds back. Lazy bastard, he's not doing much today. Oh, he got 1 back. Alright, well, you have to shoot him for another turn. Alright. Well, we'll see what happens. That'll do for the time being. We're on to turn 3, Tomb Kings.
He lost his witch elves. They were
First half of turn 3 down, and the seesaw continues. They dropped a breath weapon from this, plus the archers over there, into the witch elves and slaughtered the fucking lot with a whole lot of yards.
How many points there?
About 300. But to be honest with you, the witch elves never really going to stand a chance against that sort of firepower anyway.
But they did there.
Hydra got smashed by this guy, did a wound back to it, but it was a bit of a lopsided fight. This guy weirdly is still here. I don't
and hurt him, and hurt the Necro Sphinx after all as well.
Yeah, did a wound on him too. That's unsurprising. This prick here got into the tower, wounded the mage. They dumped all their attacks on the mage and they didn't go for the crew, although the crew did do one wound back to it. And then I think a rock lobber
killed one.
Yeah. And just the poor little bastard who caught it right in the face, and the rest did all right with their armor. So that was that. What happened to the magic? You tried some shit on it, didn't work.
No, magic whiffed.
Yeah.
Nothing cast. Oh, we did cast, but you dispelled it.
Yeah. Right, yep. Whatever it was, I'm sure it would have been very scary if it worked.
Yeah.
That said, I needed the swings and roundabouts to happen again because I'm rather badly losing at the moment.
It's not really. Well, you got two mages still alive.
You took a general and a whole chariot crew out, which is about 700 something points.
Yeah. Well,
We got back 300. So
it's kept me in the game, but then I've lost one of my heavy hitters, so I'm going to have to think about what to do next.
Thanks.
Anyway, I'm going to have to get clever over here or my mage will die next turn.
Keep in mind, you're a terror-causing monster, so if he charges a terror-causing monster, it'll help us.
You never know.
Well, we'll see.
It could bring
Anyway,
spades.
we'll check in at the end of turn 3 Dark Elves.
Huh?
We need to go for
Just
Right, end of turn 3, Dark Elf turn 3, and it's on for young and old. Right, so
He could. This is a better matchup, but he probably won't make
What the
it.
hell
No, he
did
won't
we
make
do?
it. That'll be too fast. That'll be
We
here.
fired off
Killed a
Pendulum.
Sphinx.
The Pendulum killed the Scorpion that was otherwise going to raid the tower.
Yeah.
So they might last a bit longer. But I rolled a 1 for damage against this bastard. These guys ran into the forest, killed a bunch of skeleton archers for no reply, and somehow managed to not knock themselves over for a change. Normally I'll lose these guys when I run into a forest. This thing bumped off the last heroic bolt thrower guy. And this lot charged one of the Necro Sphinxes.
War Sphinx, full health War Sphinx actually.
Full health War Sphinx, the one that had basically taken out the Witch Elves. And I'd given my assassin the Chill Blade, which wounds automatically. He's only strength 4, so it doesn't give me any buff to like anti-armor or anything. And it's the full special weapons points allotment for a assassin, so it's a bit of a gamble, but it fucking worked. He hit it 4 times and he wounded it 4 times.
This little ninja.
There's
That's
a
big.
little
He'll have that
motherfucker.
for his record. Does he have a name, Chris?
Oh.
He deserves one after that feat. 4 wounds on a
He is many
Sphinx.
men with no name.
Yeah. He's no one like Ari in Game of Thrones.
And then we bumped off the remainder of the last wound with some of the flurry of other dice that came along, and we overran. So it's just occurring to me, I've only got 2 combat units on the table, but they're big points wise, and I've got almost all of my characters. We did shoot this thing and knocked a couple more wounds off, so we'll see if we can bump it off in the melee before it finishes off my mage. Now they've really only got one thing that's pointing in the right direction to take on this unit. We'll see how that goes. Yes, well, it's looking close. There's a lot of fatalities at all sides here.
Worth it. Okay.
I should also flag I rolled Snake Eyes on Winds of Magic. That didn't fucking help. But at least the spell got off. End of turn 4. First half of turn 4, that's the Tomb Kings. They shuffled up behind here. They decided not to charge for some obscure reason.
He couldn't charge, unfortunately.
Not sure why. This one decided not to. And they rolled out breath weapon attacks, so they didn't do anything. These guys snuck around, took some shots, did nothing. These guys
Killed
shuffled around, killed a few.
3 guys, yeah. The catapult missed and almost hit our own dudes.
Oh, that's right, like a couple of mil out, knocking off their own guys.
And magic was horrible.
Yeah, they rolled
we
6
both
guys.
a double 1 again.
Yeah,
Snake
after
Eyes
magic
after
phase,
Snake Eyes.
After crapping on Chris saying he
Yes.
rolled a 1 and a 2, we did worse.
Oh, indeed. Over here, this thing bumped off 2. I did a wound back to it, which is pretty average dice rolls on both sides, but we did manage to just
Only
pass
stayed
on a
in
reroll.
that magical
Get a
banner.
buff on the banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have destroyed
Would
that
have run
unit.
without the magic banner,
Yeah.
so it paid off.
Over here, the Scorpion barreled in. The mage did a wound on it. The other guys didn't do shit. Then the Scorpion did a wound to the mage.
Tomb Swarm.
But the Tombstone, okay. But the Black Amulet bounced the wind back and finished off the last of the swarm.
With the
So-
final wound on the mage. It
She's
was quite
still there.
cinematic, actually.
Unless she blows herself up, she'll probably survive today. On that note, I've got to try and crash through and do enough damage to things this turn that we can actually, it's probably going to be the last turn of the game too, that we can actually, at least pull out a draw from this mayhem. Right, end of turn 4, Dark Elves. We're calling it because it's well past pumpkin o'clock. In the last, thank fuck it's Friday.
You love the game too much. That's why you didn't call it short, Chris.
Yeah.
You can normally kick us out on like
tomorrow's not a work day.
Yeah.
Over here, these guys crashed into the archers, which had a mage in them, crashed right on through as you'd expect, and into the casket, which they presumably fuck up next turn, then take a bunch of casualties when it explodes. Over here, to my astoundment, they're still there.
Yeah.
His killing blow attacks knocked off 2 of the Coldwood Riders. Then I rolled a whole lot of nothing for the Riders, but then by some miracle, the cold ones mustered up a couple of 6s at the last minute. And they're straight
Yeah, it was the cold ones themselves, not the nice.
Yeah, and they managed to bump it off. I'm surprised.
And Emilio did not Yahtzee his saves on that one.
Yeah, and the mage did a little bit. We did Occam's Razor on them, but they dispelled it. There's no double 6s involved. I had 8 dice, they had 6, so I threw 6 dice and they threw 6 in defense. So I really thought I was going to need that for them to survive. Then I only had 2 dice left to throw in the pendulum, which actually did go off really well.
Yeah.
But it only took, a wound or 2 off of that.
One wound off. Yeah.
And rolled another 1 to win on that guy. So, not the devastating smasherini I thought it would be, because in theory they could gain tackle that lot, and that might make it a more even fight.
Yeah, the 2 thunderstorms, but who knows? They'd have to make the roll as well. So
Yeah, so does anyone get any idea what the fucking points difference is?
it's pretty close. You might even have edged it though, because of the chick being 305 on a 1 wound.
600 on the table.
There's a thing. I don't know if there's a thing
So
where.
I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 50 or so. 50, I've got about 1,500 points on the
Now
table.
we've got about 600.
No way. Yeah, because it's a massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the characters.
Because we
So
could
minor
have saved that unit, but we played it a bit more.
Look, I think
600 points versus 1,500.
Yeah, I feel if we played it out, we could definitely win because she's only got 1 wound.
How are you going to win?
Easy.
Well, they would charge the
one wound
tower.
off.
They would charge the tower.
One wound either a
So
rock.
they would get a shot in.
Yeah, she only needs 1.
they only need to get 1 wound on a wizard that's got no armor.
Shoot the hell out of them before
Oh, but it's
even
our
get
turn.
there.
It's our
It's our
turn, is
turn,
what I
Chris.
mean.
Yeah,
It's
so
our
they're
turn.
going to make the tower until turn 6, so 1 round of combat.
No, they're shooting, not
No,
the
they're
fighting.
shooting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they're shooting the tower.
And also with the
Alright,
rock.
alright.
So the chance is 4 arrows into her.
Alright.
No
So
armor.
vague-
She could take
So
the
some vague chance you sort these out. In return, I'll take out the casket and I'll take out the rock lobber.
Yeah, would take a couple of turns.
And then maybe these guys will get in. In which
Yeah.
case, the assassin just has some fun.
2
So-
thunderstorms. It was a great game though.
I think it would break it closer, but I reckon I started in the bag.
I'm happy to give it to the Dark Elves because by the
Yeah.
end we played a bit more
Oh,
fun.
it was
a great
a
game.
Look at the casualty pile. How can you not be happy?
It is.
Look, if we hadn't lost our general when
No,
we did,
even with that, if we
yeah, but
gone
if he
to win-
stayed,
yeah.
he could have done a lot of damage on his
Oh,
own.
But,
That
but,
unit
but
could have done.
even with that, say that
but-
we'd gone all win to win and
Occam's
not
Razor with
not
my
like
suicide
Chelsea.
squad of
because it was up to us with the Sphinxes, and we I wanted to see them do stuff. We could have kept them both out. We would have kept the Sphinxes like
we did play this for fun, not for tactics, really.
And my favourite guy, he survived.
I thought that
Darren's still on too.
yeah, it was cool because the thing with the list was a Sphinx list, and at the end of 4, 2 were still alive, which was very surprising to me.
That's because Chris didn't. His bolt throws just weren't hitting enough.
No, but bolt throwers aren't good against Sphinxes just because the matchup is with
my
toughness.
gimmicks
Yeah.
got the Sphinxes in the end of the day.
And because the tower was there, and with the rule how the guys get to fight as well. I mean, the Tomb Swarm couldn't kill the chick. Plus, the Pendulum probably saved them because it killed the Tomb Scorpion.
Yeah,
so she was pretty awesome.
If these guys ran off the table, there's a whole
that
threat.
magic banner. Yeah,
There's a whole threat that would have gone with them.
That would have won us the game.
And with them gone, we could have won it.
But when it comes down to like a magic banner reroll, a 1 wound, that's a great game. Like the momentum was excellent. But
Gentlemen, what have we learned?
Warhammer Fantasy's fun to play.
also, I remember that Occam's only has an 18-inch range. For some reason, I always thought it was 24.
Yeah, you got to put your mage in the... Well,
I think you didn't get... I think your magic was good. It could have been better.
But
Dark Elves.
it killed the gen. Without the Occam's, the general's unit survived.
it
massive
worked
spell.
the one time it really needed to, and you saw a couple of times.
One thing is that with all the Sphinxes, with the table set up, meant that they were kind of untouchable because none of the Sphinxes could fly, even the flying ones. So we didn't actually have any melee stuff that could kill them once our little kind of squishy stuff died.
In another world, that mage would have been in a unit somewhere. Other tricks would have been used, but it was entertaining to do a mage in a tower with a bolt thrower for a change.
Yeah, and then being able to fight together, it looked cool because I don't reckon I've played a game here with that scenery piece because I actually really like how it looks.
That tower did help, Chris.
But for the record,
if we'd actually dropped a catapult
if you managed to
boulder
hit,
and it actually hit, it would have been devastating.
We came closer in that game to killing our own stuff with the catapult than them stuff. I think we got one hit and killed one knight with that catapult.
You hopped at this once or twice, and if you'd landed it there, you would have collected a mage and the bolt thrower.
One knight that whole game, but it didn't explode, which is cool. I was pretty happy with that breath weapon. That was pretty tactical. That was
the witch elves had a bad day.
And they killed Cetra. They had a great day. But the ebb and flow of the game, the witch Cetra killed the Hydra. The witch elves avenged the Hydra, killed Cetra.
Well, I like to think that they've all got a terrible sunburn from the breath weapon attack, and they're not going to bathe in some virgin blood, and they'll be back for next time.
Oh, they will with Hellebron and I think this is your.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it was cool with all the
Vampire Dark Ages dust.
I
don't think we could have played the game differently. I think
we could have definitely. I would have done if it was one where you're really trying to, because
how would you have repositioned your forces then?
I just made sure that they couldn't charge the archer unit because we had the free magic moves and stuff. But that's not fun. It's kind of lame to do that, especially given that we're running out of time, knowing that there's only one last turn. That's right.
This was a bit of a rushed game, so
it's more fun. And for example, with the Sphinx, right? We could have set it so that he couldn't charge in with those units, so the Sphinx would be alive, but that's not fun. Instead, we got that awesome cinematic unit where it was the standard bearer with his magical one-use banner that kept them in there, and then the cold ones chopped up the Sphinx.
Well, we chopped up the first lot.
Got them good.
Yeah, they avenged the other crew.
Can you imagine if I sent in these 5 guys with Occam's razor?
Oh, I was expecting that.
You would have just decimated one of those things. But sometimes the gambits work, sometimes they go backwards. What can I say?
I always find it interesting with Occam's how it doesn't even matter if they charge you. The Lancers are useless with Occam's because the strength they're not.
I think I've got to congratulate Chris because it's probably the first time I've seen Dark Elves win in 3 times he's deployed this army.
I must admit, I struggle to win with this army.
Yeah, he's lost the last 2 times he played this army.
Shadow synergizes amazingly well. That Murderous Prowess with Occam's, that's a game winner.
And his ninja assassins
I will give you props, Chris, as well, because you had Pit of Shades, and because it's a fun game, you didn't try to just pit the Sphinxes, which is cool. You did it more tactically, which, in a fun game is better.
And just the only controversy was the flee and flee. So ask the viewers.
Two questions as well. The first one, you can't double flee with one unit. That was the first question. The second was, in a tower, everything that's in there, I think, can fight. That was the
That's
two
right.
things. Yeah.
It's a free in a tower. You have to charge it. It's a free for all. If you don't kick them out, then you fall back. Then you have to charge it in next turn. So you're technically not in combat, which meant this thing could shoot at them when they were nearby. But in the small rulebook, soft cover, it implies that you can flee from one thing, and if you get charged again, you have to flee.
Yeah.
But apparently in the big book, which I don't have, it specifies you only get to flee once.
No, because I know you can't just keep fleeing indefinitely.
Yeah, so I would have done things... maybe. I fucked up with the Hydra
anyway. And the other thing to keep in mind, if it's not clear in either rulebook, either way, it's house rules.
Been fake, but I know that.
And my house rules would be, you can't flee twice or more.
My house rules would be whatever I need in the particular moment, and it might be different next game.
I thought this was a great one in terms of the Dark Elves tricks, and we saw a black amulet in there, Chill Blade. It didn't do much, but the black dragon egg was cool.
And you chose not to get a dispel scroll.
Yeah, it's not fun.
That could have been a game changer for us too.
Well, thematically, it was deliberately a magic light. So level 1 wizard, that's it. Because of that, you get more stuff. Well, everyone takes a dispel scroll, and but it's just more fun. So I had no actual magic items on anything.
The troops.
This is a very nice paint job, by the way.
He survived. The only thing that hurt him was that bolt throw. Heroic crew managed to chip him through his armor.
Strength 3 guy managed to stab her in the nads from under his bolt throw.
When the initial 5, I think, Cold War Knights couldn't get through a War Sphinx, so.
It was pretty wacky how this went. I mean, the only reason I took all this wacky cunning stuff was because I had nothing else that could hurt these, and you had 4 of them.
And to get up to 2,500 points with the pretty big list.
It's a nice looking army, and I'm glad we filmed it.
I still reckon, had you taken a Caradibus, all the Sphinxes would be dead. They would have feasted.
I might have to read the rules on that again, because I don't know how that's going to work.
Looks good. You've got to bring it up. No,
You've got it. You've got one.
I've got one, yeah.
It was. I thought it was all those epic momentum shifts, and it was pretty much every turn was a really exciting bloodthirsty turn with so many.
Could have gone either way.
I think on average we rolled better than we didn't roll. You know, I think we rolled
not good on saves, but offensively, your killing blow with the Sphinx
was very good.
Oh yeah. Emilio was on a carnage spree.
So, I will say before this, because I wanted to use Cetra again, and even though he died, I was still pretty happy. You know, I just love using Cetra, but my initial thing was to bring it to me on a War Sphinx to make it 5 Sphinxes in the list. And if you swap out this stuff for another Necro, you can actually do a 2,500 points, a 6 Sphinx list. And we have the models for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not all painted, but the Sphinxes we do
If you're bringing a 6 Sphinx list, I'm bringing the fucking dwarves.
Only because Sphinxes aren't like amazing. It's not like bringing 6 Hell Pits. They're different Sphinxes.
If you bring 6 hell pits, you don't get any whiskey.
That's what I mean. No, so Sphinxes are kind of fun to, like you saw, you can kill them. They're kind of fun to play against.
No silk for you. Back of the line.
Yeah.
Well,
this was my debut with the old school Screaming Skull catapult.
Such a cute classic
I was pretty. Didn't die, so I'll bust it out again. And
look at this guy pointing. Look at the look on his face.
that's why I didn't hit anything. I had him pointing at Emilio the whole game. I should have pointed him at your
Well,
guys.
some of your shots pretty much went that way.
Yeah, I almost killed him.
You almost killed our own stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate it. Great looking table as always. And
Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was a lot of fun. Well, it made my evening. And as for the people watching this, thanks for watching. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, and time to call it an early morning.